Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Gina once again, and today I'm working on doing some abstract pieces. I just wanted to get my hands moving. I wanted to do some art, and my go-to is always abstract. Love abstract. So today, the colors that I chose were pink, yellow, and black. No, I think I have purple in there too. Pink, purple, and black, and yellow. Well, would we consider black? So let's say three colors and black. Anyway, I'm starting off with the pink. I forgot to shake my tube, hence the very transparent color at the beginning. But it actually kind of worked out. I like the transparency of it. But I really wanted a nice, rich, bright pink. And then I'm adding in my yellows. So today I just wanted to do something small, something quick, and something abstract. So I divided my page into 6 and I double taped the center parts so that I'll be able to find the midpoint for cutting when it was time to separate everything. The reason I'm not doing this in my journal is because I felt that maybe I would want to give them away or use them as tags in different projects or, you know. So as much as I want to experiment and be inspired by them, I also may want to share them with others. And the tools that I'm using today is just a paintbrush. I think I used like a skewer, one of those thin sticks, and that's pretty much it, and paints. And my main method of application was just to kind of roll around the brush, because I didn't want these strokes to look as if they were intentional. So that's why, yes, I'm applying it with a brush, but I'm just kind of rolling it around on the cards to just get those kind of natural looking marks instead of very straight lines showing, yes, the brush, was pulled this way or, yeah. So that's the plan for this page. I also wanted to try my best to leave white space, but it was really difficult because the space is so small that I'm working on. And also I didn't have a plan to say, well, okay, I'm going to put this specific thing here and then leave the rest white. Yeah, it's just start, and usually when I do this, each thing that I do, that is what inspires me to make my next mark, which is pretty cool. I'm using a different white. So usually I use a white by Sargent, which is pretty transparent and a bit runny. It's not very thick. So I tried using one by, I think it's called, you. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce it. Hold on. I think it's Utrecht, or maybe the U is silent and it's Trek. There's a T at the end, so it's Utrecht, and it's titanium white. It's medium body and it's amazing. I usually use the cheaper paints, and this was my first expensive. It's $160 for the tube, and it's 8 ounces. It's nice and thick. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. I can't wait to get another tube. So I want to use it and I'm using it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, oh no, it's going to finish. But I'm also going through a phase of, Gina, use your things. That's why you bought it. Things are going to finish anyway. Nothing is meant to last, meaning, I mean, use what you have, instead of just the whole point of you getting it or buying it was to use it. And it doesn't serve the purpose that it was made for if you just have it there. So that, among other things, that's what I'm working on personally for myself, because as a lot of us know, we get things and it's easier for us to use the cheaper things and play with it and work with it and use it rather than use the expensive things. But I'm also learning and I know it, but what I'm trying to do is put it into practice where I am trying to play with the more expensive things as well, because that way too we will know how it works and if we like it and if we want to use it this way or maybe we want to use it a different way. So we have to play on, is it unfortunate, with the expensive things too. Yeah. So we will learn about that specific tool or medium. So these little things that I have here are stamps that I made. I just cut out some foam shapes and I stuck them onto pieces of cardboard because I like abstract stuff and I also really like making marks. So I wanted to work on that and I love them. Because the space is so small, this little stamp I found took up a lot of space though. But I was like, it's okay, Gina, you could go back in and cover up. So there, it, I, I started this page with an idea that I'm going to put some paint down, I'm going to stamp, and then I'm going to put some more paint down. But it ended up being a lot more layers than I thought and expected, which is actually really cool because it gives it more depth and interest. And right now I have 3 of them stuck up on my wall and I love looking at it. It's actually very inspiring. So, sometimes we make things and we just shove them in a book and we don't see them. But I like that I get to have them out in the open and before bed or when I look up, I'm doing something, I look up and I see it and it really does inspire me. And on days where I'm really tired and I want to make stuff, but I'm just, it's like, do I make stuff or do I go and rest? Or do I make stuff or do I go and do my chores? Or do I make stuff or do I do my homework? It actually inspires me to, okay, so you could probably do some of what you have to do, but you could still go and make stuff anyway as well. Probably something small and quick. So yeah, it's very inspiring. And here I'm using the white. It's so yummy and so rich, and I'm not accustomed to it being, so thick and just having such full coverage. It's amazing. So that's why I decided to use it on these small spaces, to play with it on these small spaces so that I could get the feel of it, understand how thick it is, if I add water, how it spreads, the consistency of it. If I want to add too much water, what's going to happen, how fast it dries. So all these things I'm learning about it, which is actually really important, I think, for when I want to use it on bigger pieces, which is actually why I bought it. But I'm learning, I'm trying to understand and remind myself that it's important to really figure it out. So that's why I am using it on a smaller surface first, which is, and I still, while I was doing it, I was like, oh no, Gina, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't. But yeah, I did it anyway. So go brave, guys. Go brave. Use your things, use your stuff. And of course, I had to add black because black just makes everything yummy for me. I don't know, I just feel a lot better when I add black to things. But I also know that it has a very big presence. Could be very heavy. So I'm trying my best not to add too much, especially since the space is small, but it's pretty difficult. But I'm trying. And so I would go in, and then if I find it's too much, I would, try and take it away. So that's the other thing that I'm reminding myself of while I'm creating is that, okay, you can add this, but it's okay. If you don't like it, you could cover it up and, or thin it out or pull back just a bit, like here, it was too heavy. And I was like, no, that's too much. So I took I think it's a wipe, and I just took up some of it and I felt a lot better. I was like, "Ooh, that was close." So yeah, for me, creating art is very adventurous. It's exciting. It's like reading a book. Uh, and I know some people are like, reading a book, that's so boring. No, not with me. Watching a movie, nope, not with me. It's very entertaining. And I'm trying to bring back in that yellow because it got very covered. It was as if it wasn't there. So I'm like, yes, Gina, we need to have some yellow and make it bright and make it. I wanted it to be bright, like having bits of sunshine poking through my piece. So, and with the stamps, I wanted to see them, but not see them at the same time. So I just wanted it to be like hints of them coming through, kind of. And what I did with my stamps, because it's not clear stamps, I just kind of drew the shape of it on the back of it, so I'll know what they are. Because I have them stored in a little pouch, but in order for me to identify them easily, instead of having to take them out and flip them over, I just drew the shape, what the general shape of it was on the back of it. So I actually really like that. It makes it a lot easier for me. So what I'm doing now is just trying to bring back any colors that I originally put, meaning I want to see my colors. So while I'm layering, things get pushed back, things get covered up, but I want to see my colors. So I'm trying to find ways to bring it back and help myself to see all those things in some way and in different parts, not just one area of the card, but different areas of the card. I want to see my colors. And yes, I use my color wheel again. Yay, I'm trying my best because when you use a color wheel, there's a reason that it's there, and the colors work together. They really do work together. So more likely than not, it's going to look pleasing to the eye. So while I'm using the colors that are complementary to each other, I have to also work on composition so that it's doubly pleasing to the eye. I have to focus on that and, having balance, which is always fun. Here I'm trying to add I was trying to remove the paint, but it kind of dried and it ended up peeling off. And I actually liked the look of it very much. So I just kept doing it till I was satisfied with what was left. And here I'm finding that there isn't enough, that it just felt too busy and there wasn't enough white space. So I covered it up, but then it was too much. So I thought, let's bring in some scratches so we could see some color from underneath, which we're tying with the rest of the card. And then bringing back in the black and taking it back out. What I failed to do was kind of dry in between my layers. So that's why the paint started to come up with each other. But I realized with this white paint is, I don't know, it kind of gets sticky and makes other areas sticky, for want of a better word. So like when I lifted up the thing just now, it kind of pulled up other bits of paint, other layers. So see, I would never have guessed that it would do that. So it's good to experiment with your materials to see how they work with other things, work alongside it, and what effects they have. So I'm learning, and it's cool. And that's what I love about art. Every piece I make, I learn. There's something to learn. You discover things, and it's fantastic learning and discovering things about your tools and your materials. I just think it's fantastic. I'm trying to add more purple in again because trying to bring back the colors and use the colors that I wanted to use. Make it visual. Trying to let all the colors be seen. And this was a nice exercise for me because, oh, see there, I remember to dry, but I'm at the end. So I'm taking off one of the tapes, and then I'll just draw a line so I'll know where the middle is, and I'll cut on that line. So that's why I double layered with the tape. It made it a lot easier for me to find the center. Even though I didn't really measure when I put the tape down, by the way, I just kind of averaged, which is what I usually do with a lot of things. And I was hoping that I was done, but as I separated it, by removing the tape, I was able to look at it with fresh eyes. And then I saw some areas that I wanted to add some color or push back some color. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just adding some mixes, putting some things to the background. I'm going to bring some things to the front because, you know, when you move your tape, it looks like a whole new painting and you see it with fresh eyes. And I'm bringing back in the same shapes because, you know, layering with the same shapes, the same elements, it really does give depth and interest to your piece or pieces. So I'm just doing that. I made it, it's really messy around the borders, but that's okay. They're mine. And I know the people I give it to will understand and they're gonna appreciate it anyway. At least I hope so. And I'm just doing some light colors. It's not some, you know, so it looks like a kind of background stamp. I didn't want them to be in your face, you know, dark stamping. Just kind of hints of these shapes floating around on the card. Yeah, that's what I wanted. But using the same colors that I said that I wanted to use in my piece. I'm using the lighter of the colors. So this was cool. This was a really fun project that I decided to do, and I learned a couple of things, and I had fun as well because it really is a nice way for me to de-stress and just, I don't know, it's like all the energy, it flows through the brush and flows through my fingers if I'm using my fingers, and it helps me just woosah, you know, it helps me to exhale and to breathe. I felt that there was too much space on this one, so I'm just coming in with a charcoal pencil. No, this is a China marker pencil to just add some marks, and I felt a lot better when I did that. I was like, "Ooh, that's good," you know? Yeah. So that worked for me. It felt a lot better, a lot more cohesive, and I really enjoyed that. I'm just adding it on some of the others. And again, I'm just rolling it around. I'm holding it loosely. I'm holding it at different angles because I don't want, you know, like you're holding a pencil to write. I just want it to seem like random marks that I'm making. So I'm just holding it loosely and, you know, in different ways with my hand, but loosely. And I'm tuning my hand and rolling it, and yeah. It also helps for me to turn my painting in different directions so I could see it from a new perspective and see, okay, well, I should probably put some of this here. I should probably remove some of this. And that's how I am able to see things with with new eyes, with fresh eyes. Add some color here, tone this down here, put a mark here. Yeah, just turn it around and it helps a lot. It's like a new painting and I look at it with fresh eyes. So this was fun. I'm gonna have some stills at the end so you could see and you could let me know if, I hope it inspired you to make something and just paint. Just roll your brush around and make some marks and cover it up and make some more marks, and yeah. I hope it really inspires you and you enjoy the process. And you use what you have. Use your stuff. I have a this thing, I forget what you call it, when they put the dust on and then they heat it and it solidifies. I have that for a while and I haven't used it, so that's something that I have to work on because I don't want it to just stay there. I want to use it and experiment with it and see how it feels, see how it works, see if I like it, you know, because I don't even know yet if I like it, and I've had it for quite a while. So that's the plan. I hope you all have a great day today and a great night. And let me know which one you like the best or which ones you prefer. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!